Ladies and gentlemen, elves and wolves, planes and wanderers, we are back. We're back with Elfquest, and we're doing the challenge. And yes, they've come to the end of Sorrow's End, which Cutter referred to. Now, they refer to this lady as a high one, but she's not. The elf, she's taller, and they stand in awe. And yet, when they ask her if she's a high one, she says no. When elves grow older, they grow taller. They see their oldest among them she considers a sapling. And she goes on to explain the story that we saw before, where the elves were driven out. They found their place there, in the desert, in the sun, amongst the plains. They found their place, they wandered. But at any rate, they welcomed the elves as part of their tribe. And that night they have a great celebration where all are dancing, moving, sweating in the moonlight. Everyone's enjoying themselves, save for one person, Rick. He's angry, jealous. He's gotten them through the hard times. He's gotten them through times when they had nothing. And yet, this chieftain dares to try to take his place. And he realizes, and his Cutter realizes, and Lita realize, is that there's a pull between them. Something that drives him mad with jealousy. But anyways, Lita is basically torn between Cutter and Rick. She's trying to figure out what's this bond that she has with Cutter. What does it mean? Well, anyways, Rick is out hunting, I guess you suppose. He hypnotizes the animal, a boar, and brings it over to him so he can just kill it. And of course, this is the difference between him and Cutter. I guess the savage and the mage it's not very sporting, is what Cutter says, but it does get the job done. Anyways, that night Cutter is lost. He's trapped by her presence, her essence. And his tree stump explains that once you become one, you become fixed. But their moment together is interrupted as Reg throws down the wand. This wand is a challenge. It's a challenge for the hand of Lita. And this challenge must be answered, for it is the way of their people. And this will go through, and yet, even with everything, she feels a drive towards him, towards Cutter. She feels a bond, and she doesn't want to admit it. And now, it is time. It will be time for them to compete. And it's just funny that Lita refers to him as a barbarian. She's fighting this with every ounce of who she is. But yet she can't help the irresistible drive that she has towards Cutter. And now the contests begin. Hand, heart, and mind. Alright, the hand section of it, it's kind of a balancing act. Well, they'll be blindfolded and they'll grip hands and they'll try to pull each other off. And as you can tell, there's a lot of foul words exchanged between them. And I think Ray's actually doing this on purpose, because he knows Cutter has a temper. But Cutter actually wins and throws him over. And now, the second test. And Cutter, of course, is overreacting because of his sword. But it has to be. It has to be hidden. For this is the test of the mind. They're put in a cave, tied up. Their swords or knives, blades are hidden. And they're supposed to find them, use them, retrieve them with whatever they got, and bring it back. And whoever comes back first wins. Cutter, of course, is using his senses. He's able to smell the blade. Troll made. And of course, he uses the rope to get down and has a very anti-graceful landing with a sickening thud. Rake, of course, is just guiding his way through, using his brain, his mind. And this goes to the contrast to just both characters. Of course, Cutter finds his blade, he can't get it, but the stone, the lodestone, sticks to it. Of course, Rake uses his necklace and is able to just kind of trap it like a claw, one of those stuffed animal claws. But, of course, Skywise is there to greet him and say that he's late. Cutter already got it. And of course, Rake says it is cheating, but it's not, since the lodestone was natural and it was also a gift. And Lita, of course, is worried, but Rake isn't, because the last one, the trial of the heart, most difficult of all. And she reaches deep into the minds of Cutter and Rake and senses their fears. For now, it is time for them to face their greatest fears. And we discover that Cutter's is heights. True heights, so they suspend him over a valley. And now he must face this fear, cross the path, and return without aid. But the fear grips him. He is almost about to fall. And Skywise shouts out, he's losing his balance. Stop, stop. And of course, Cutter, he comes back, scared, feeling the fear. And everyone's angry, especially at Lita, because of all the stuff that she's putting Cutter through. But Rake, of course, takes the light of the challenge, jumps at the cliff, showboating, giving in to his arrogance. And this is Rake's big problem, for he ends up slipping. And of course, his magic won't save him now, so Cutter, even if he's enemy, even if he's afraid, he must go and help him. And she still hears that name, Tam. But that is a story for another time. I'm the Comic Outlaw, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Yeah.